Hello and welcome to something that we normally call Heavenly Album Covers right here on a post-it note. We are Heavenly Album Covers and we're right here. We're looking at an album cover right here by a gentleman named Dr. Herb True. Now, that's not herb as in a like an herb garden or like a parsley garden. That's Dr. Herb True, Herb as in Herbert, and this album is by Dr. Herb True, not a herb garden, and this is an album called Are You an Amateur or a Professional? Champ or Chump? Pro or Schmo? How do you know? And here is Dr. Herb True. I'm not sure if he was a real doctor or just played a doctor on albums, but this is Dr. Herb True. Dr. True put out at least 3 full 33 1/3 RPM albums and a handful of 45 singles and EPs. He seemed to be quite productive for a few years, and his albums are full of humor, and the album covers are very humorous and funny. This album cover kind of makes Dr. True look like a referee at a football game or a baseball game. I guess this would be a football game or maybe a soccer game. And he's kind of playing the referee role. He has a whistle here and a hat. He's very done up very well in this kind of black and white referee shirt and nice belt and some white trousers here. It looks like he's posing in front of a big stadium here with a big expanse of empty space up here. And these are some blurbs which promote the album within. And there are even more blurbs down here at the bottom. But the important thing right now is to take this album out of the shrink wrap. It's been in the shrink wrap for decades, I'm sure. And we want to be especially careful with shrink wrap at this point. I usually take my thumbnail and slice it up here, slice the shrink wrap up, and want to be very careful. You don't want to injure yourself or have an accident here. And we can pull off the shrink wrap from Dr. Herb True's album here. We've de-shrunk it. We've taken the complicated shrink wrap off this album. It's a beautiful album. It's quite lovely out of the shrink wrap. It's kind of glossy, a little bit matte, but mostly glossy. Let's look at the album here. And it's a red with kind of silver writing on here. It looks like it has never been out of the sleeve, the overall sleeve here. We will be playing a little bit of this album in a few minutes, or a few seconds, I'm not sure. But here is Dr. True. He's very comical looking. I'm sure his speeches, his lectures are very funny and full of life. And here on the back cover, Dr. True continues the shtick. And here he is as a football player. He's all dressed up as a football player. And here he is again as a referee. He's kind of mixing it up at a big lecture up here at the top. And there is Dr. True at the bottom. If you really wanted to, you could buy a big package of Dr. Herb True's sound, his audio, his inspirational lectures here. It was called the Motivation Collection here. You could buy 1 cassette tape or 4 7-inch records, and I would really love to have these if I can find them somewhere. This album itself came out in 1969, and Dr. True had done lectures for NBC, CBS, and ABC TV channels. He'd done lectures for the U.S. Army, for schools, universities, places like IBM and DuPont, Bell and Howell, and so he really got around. He was a motivational and inspirational speaker, and I think this picture of Dr. True in the football uniform is really great, as well as these pictures at the top. And this is one of the best album covers I've ever seen recently, and it's just really nice. He looks very obsessed with the moment, and he looks like he's very motivational right here. This call-out area here is very effective. They call him America's Mr. Creativity, and he is a pro, and he's no schmo. So let's listen a little bit to Dr. Herb True, Dr. Herbert True, and here we go.
Single thing I can say about man: failure is an inevitable condition of success. You grow by overcoming your obstacles, but if you do not overcome your obstacles, they will destroy you. What can we say about do it? The junior leaders come in, the state people come in, they show you all the different things you can do, and you can choose yours. Then we try to show you how you can reveal to yourself how you're doing in this particular organization. And then we say, if you need any kind of help, you got the county agent to help you. I'd like to suggest that we have missed the most important area of all of motivation, and that is setting up the challenge.
Dr. True is very assiduous and very forceful. Let's listen to a little bit more.
You'd be surprised what you can get out of it. This universal language, everybody understands. If you've ever been to Washington with a kid, make a Tom-ass. Now this kid's name's Jack. No funny business. You see, if just at that moment, yourselves a little, are you going to meet him? And number two, are you going to be a leader in your profession? I suggest that you can. I suggest you can if you put in those knowledge and skills, that attitude, but if you change that environment by taking yourself a little life.
And so that's Dr. Herb True, not herb like an herb garden, but Herb as in Herbert, Dr. Herb True. And I'm going to have to investigate this album a little bit more closely. It's he seems very forceful and adamant about his thoughts and beliefs, and the cover is just stupendous. It's wonderful. It's true, and it is Dr. Herb, not a herb garden. Dr. Herb True here at Heavenly Album Covers.